We are live.
Ooh,
Live, I tell you, live.
it's alive.
It is alive right now. Oh, let's see. Hello, folks. I'm the Brian,
I'm Amber.
and we have a live stream. And I don't know who else is here. I can only imagine everyone in the world is here right now because
That'd be pretty impressive.
yeah, because that's the kind of crowds we draw here on Tea Tales and Trouble.
Yeah.
Yep.
We're asking about pie today. Favorite kinds of pie.
Yeah, so let us know what your favorite kind of pie is.
I really regret though they wouldn't let me have more options. So I wanted like 10 different pies here, and they
Yeah.
limited me to 4.
Oh, hi, Marcia. Welcome. We're happy to see you here. We see that you have picked that there has to be at least 3 people in the chat because
There's...
Apple is at 67%. Oh, and hi, Tuesday. Welcome. So that must be the other person who's in the chat. Welcome all to our November live stream. Oh, now there must be at least 4 people like kicking around. Welcome all 4 people. We have quite the show for you today. So let's see. I put other because I love making sweet potato pie. Sweet potato pie is very good. I like sweet potato pie as well. It's surprisingly like pumpkin pie. And lemon meringue pie, I can get that. Lemon meringue pie is pretty good. I agree, Marcia. All right. Now that we have our favorite pies out of the way.
Oh, what's your favorite though?
Oh, what's my favorite pie? I don't know. I mean, I like maybe apple pie. I don't know.
Yeah, I like your grandma's recipe apple pie specifically.
Yeah, my grandmother's apple pie recipe. I mean, I can make it because I actually have the recipe for it now. But I mean, I usually do a pretty decent job at it. So it's good pie. It's good pie. But I mean, all pie is good pie, right? Key lime pie is also good, but all pie is good pie. Yeah, I mean, look, we're all on the same page. Done and dusted. Okay, that's it. We're all in agreement. Speaking of being all in agreement, oops, well, that's not our first letter. Our first letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Saying That My Girlfriend Isn't a Real Engineer? So my girlfriend is a 29-year-old female and I'm a 30-year-old male and have had this long disagreement on whether or not she's an engineer. I'm a mechanical engineer and she's a software engineering graduate from a university that offers it. However, she never worked under a licensed engineer because she mostly just went on to be a dev, which is a requirement in Canada. Now she's making a lot as a dev and eventually decided becoming a licensed one wasn't worth the hassle. But when she tells people what she does for a living, she'll say that she's an engineer, which isn't strictly true. I've also told her many times it doesn't mean that she isn't doing what an engineer does or her education didn't matter. She just never met the requirements to be a professional engineer. We're talking to a bunch of friends and they brought people that we never met and they asked how we met in school or if we met in school, and we said no because we went to different engineering schools. The conversation then went on to how we met, and she said that we met because we both were engineers, and she clicked on my profile because she liked that. Then I joked that technically she wasn't a full engineer, so it could be seen as catfishing. They asked why she wasn't, and I explained the process on professional engineering and how she wasn't in a work environment to actually get the full requirements. She loudly said, well, looks like it didn't actually matter because I still make double your salary. Then the room got quiet and I tried to laugh it off, but I was mad because why was that necessary? We fought in the car and I just asked her for an apology, but she kept saying that she was defending herself and I should apologize first and haven't spoken more than 3 words since Friday night. I feel like the joke wasn't that insulting, but her response was way out of line. All right, folks, what do you think?
Yeah, OP, you're a jerk, and that was not a joke. You are intentionally correcting her because it hurts your ego that she's an engineer. Like, it's in her job title. It doesn't matter if she's not a licensed engineer. She's a software engineer. Lots of people have that job description without working under professional engineers. It doesn't mean that they are not engineers in the general job sense of the word.
Yeah, and I just want to jump in here real quick. Welcome, Walter. Welcome, Mary. And thanks for joining us for the live stream here. Yeah, I mean, I think that this is one of those situations where it was completely unnecessary for him to even make the comment about her not being a real engineer. She's not a professional engineer, right? She's not a licensed professional engineer, rather. But she is an engineer. She still does engineering. He even admits in the post that she does engineering stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But he's like, but you're not a real engineer because you're not a licensed professional engineer. I mean, you're just splitting hairs at this point in time, right?
It sounds like his ego is bruised because she out-earns him. And so, he's got a point that he's the superior one because he's the real engineer of the two of them.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, like, the thing that makes someone an engineer is basically solving problems on some kind of restricted limitations, right? Whether that's money or whether that's parts or whatever have you, right? Like the ability to come up with a solution that is able to be utilized reliably by other people is basically what engineering is, and anyone who does that is engineering. But what do the comments have to say?
Walter says, calling it right away, you're the jerk. LMAO, why was that necessary? Dude, was any of what you said necessary?
Yeah.
Tuesday says, I hate gatekeeping busybodies. She's an engineer. It doesn't matter that she doesn't do as much as OP thinks she should be. She is. And then Marcia says, OP, yes, you are the jerk. And she shut you right up, didn't she?
Yeah, she sure did. And speaking of shutting them up real good, our next letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Keeping a Family Cookbook that was previously thrown away? I really have no idea at all if that transition works. So
I completely missed your transition somehow.
Now I don't even remember, so that's too bad. More than 10 years ago, my sister-in-law's mother-in-law passed away. The family cleaned out her house, took what they wanted, and then decided to toss the rest. Before it was tossed, my sister-in-law said to see if there was anything that I wanted. All I could find was this old cookbook, which was in plain sight on the kitchen table. Fast forward to this year, when I posted a photo of my island with the cookbooks all over it. I was looking for a certain recipe. My brother-in-law saw the photo and his mother's cookbook and then demanded its return. I refused. The whole family is in uproar. Half are on my side, half are on his side. I've had to block quite a number of people from being able to contact me as they were getting really rude. Am I the jerk for not returning it? If I hadn't taken it, it was going to be thrown away. All right, folks, what do you think?
Not the jerk. I mean, we're talking more than a decade has passed since OP got this cookbook. Like, I could understand, if like in the first, year or few years, people like were reminiscing about it and like, oh, I wish we had mom's cookbook.
Yeah.
Then the kind of thing to do would have been to return it. It's been 10 years. Nobody's missed it. It would have gotten thrown away.
Well, I think it depends, right? Like, for the most part, I'm on OP's side here, but I think it depends if this was something that they thought that they accidentally threw out. And they do say that it was on the kitchen table. So I don't know, like, maybe it was one of those things that was accidentally left there and it wasn't meant to be left there and OP saved it from getting thrown out. What I think would be the nice thing for OP to do is basically make copies of it and then give it to everyone.
Well,
right?
Certainly I think OP needs, like, if OP's hoarding the recipes, that's a problem.
Yeah.
But I don't think there's anything wrong with OP keeping the physical book because it's been their property for over 10 years now.
Yeah. So I do think like it's a little weird that they're out here being like, oh, we want the cookbook itself. I do understand like the sentimentality. Sometimes folks don't realize that they're going to miss something until they miss it, right? And it's clear that the brother-in-law does in this case. So I don't know. I do think that it would be nice for OP to make copies though.
Yeah, I mean, well, and I understand that the physical item, has sentimental value, but at this point in time, it has value to OP too. It's been in OP's hands for a decade.
Yeah.
And so, again, I think definitely sharing the recipes is important, but not like being like, nope, these recipes are all mine. But I think the physical book can stay in OP's possession.
Yeah, and welcome, Cat in Coma. Cat in a Coma. I probably completely butchered that 3 times in a row, but you're welcome to the show. So we're happy to have you here. And yeah, What did the comments have to say?
So Malter says, copy all the recipes before returning it, if anything. And Katakoma says, made it items that are truly loved belong to the people who took them in.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think that's a really good point, is that it is, basically owned by the person who took it in and saved it from getting thrown out, right? Speaking of taking it in and saving it from getting thrown out, our next letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Not Accepting This Birthday Gift? Which the segue works perfectly, I'm sure. I'm 21 and soon... Oh, it looks like a bunch of comments just happened here, so I'll wait. I'll wait if you want to read those real quick.
Yeah, so Mary says, not the jerk. Does brother-in-law know who gave OP the green light to take it? That's who he should talk to. And Marsha says, you can get a company to make copies of the cookbook and let them buy it.
Yeah. I think that might be a good solution too. And I'm glad I pronounced your name correctly, at least a little bit there. So I'm turning 21, and I found out that my mom applied for and got a credit card in my name. My initial reaction was, okay. And I told her I told her that I recently applied to one, and she was disappointed that I did that because she had already done it for me. She basically said I ruined her surprise. The next day, I told her not to do it again, and she got really upset and blew up at me. Immediately started yelling, calling me ungrateful, disrespectful, and said that she's not the enemy. She had said how all of her friends and even her boyfriend said it was the good gift to give. I tried to defend myself, saying that it's not a good gift, and she told me just to shut up. It's been a long week, to be honest. She never apologized, and I can't talk about my feelings without her being either dismissive or full-on victim blaming and yelling. I really want to move out, but currently don't have the funds. Just wanted to know if I'm the jerk for how I reacted to this quote-unquote birthday gift. All right, folks, what do you think?
No, absolutely not the jerk, but lock down your credit yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
Like, this is not a gift. This is your mom's just going to happen to borrow it every so often and rack up major purchases on it.
I know. Oh, my goodness. I mean, she's immediately gone on the defensive here, being like, I'm not the enemy. That makes me think immediately that you've done something that you know you're not supposed to have done, right? Because now she's like, oh, I'm not the enemy here. You're just accusing me. OP didn't accuse her of anything, right? OP's like, don't do it again, please. And then she just is like, oh, well, why are you thinking I'm the enemy here? Maybe OP should take a credit card out in the mom's name and see how,
no, don't do that. That is bad legal advice.
This isn't illegal advice. This is reparation advice.
Nobody take credit cards out in anyone's name. OP, lock down your credit yesterday.
Yeah.
And like, how is this a gift? Like, it's just a piece of plastic.
I mean, if it was a secured credit card backed by like the mom's bank account, that might actually be a gift. But that's still like such a gross use of OP's social security number and all these other things, because it just feels like a huge invasion here.
Well, the thing is, like, if you really want to give someone money, you can give them a prepaid card or a number of things.
Well, a prepaid card doesn't build credit, though, whereas a secured credit card does. I'm not justifying what the mom is doing here, mind you. I'm just saying, like, a prepaid credit card is not necessarily the same thing as a secured credit card, right? Which is a secured credit card is a lot like a prepaid credit card, but the one is under your name. But whatever. What do the comments have to say?
So the comments are, oh, heck no credit card fraud, no. And then Mary says, surprise, look at your new credit card. And surprise, look at what I bought with it.
Yeah.
And then Kat Nakoma says, taking stuff out in someone else's name, cards and accounts, always makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Tuesday says, call the police ASAP if she doesn't immediately cancel it. Freeze that credit. Mom can no longer be trusted. And Walter says, happy birthday. Here, have massive trust issues. Love you.
Yeah. Speaking of massive trust issues, our next letter is titled, Am I a jerk for lying and saying that my toilet was broken to stop my brother-in-law from using it because he refuses to clean up after himself?
I love this segue so much.
Segue, perfect. All we need is the wheel to agree.
Yeah.
So my husband's entire family and we live in the same small town. This means spontaneous, unannounced visits are the norm. My brother-in-law is a disaster. Every single time he uses the toilet, he leaves behind a war zone. If it's not number one, then I think he misses 30% of the time. If it is number one, then he misses 30% of the time. and I don't want to talk about number two. I've cleaned up after him countless times, and he's worse than a small child, and I'm absolutely fed up with being his housekeeper. Well, brother-in-law showed up unannounced again yesterday. He knocked on my door and immediately said he had a maximum urgency and needed to use my toilet right now. I told him the toilet's broken, and we're waiting for my husband to come home and fix it. When my husband came home in that evening, he was furious. He yelled at me for not letting his brother use the bathroom. He asked what was the big deal with cleaning up after him, if needed. And the cherry on top was, he told me poor little had to go and he needed to use the bushes nearby. My husband is scolding me for being mean and inhospitable. I argued that my house is not a public rest stop off the highway, and I'm not the Bill's hired cleaning staff. Brother-in-laws, I think they mean. Am I the jerk for lying about the broken toilet to protect my sanity and cleanliness, refusing to clean up after an irresponsible adult again? Edit, I honestly didn't expect to receive so many positive responses. Thank you all so much. As luck would have it, the popularity of this post has reached one of my husband's colleagues, and just for laughs, he showed it to my husband. My husband immediately realized the post was about him and our situation. He called me, apologized, and said that he felt ashamed of the attitude he took with me. He promised that he will speak with his brother and parents about the issue. All right, folks, what do you think?
No, not the jerk. I'm glad that the husband has seen this now and is going to resolve things.
Oh, yeah.
Because, you know, the problem with that excuse is like the toilet can't always be broken, so you do have to talk to brother-in-law eventually, and luckily it sounds like OP's husband is now going to handle it, and that's good.
Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, I think maybe the first line of defense was maybe OP telling the brother-in-law that they need to do a better job at cleaning up after themselves, but also, like, why would you even need to tell a grown adult how to clean up after themselves or how to use a bathroom without making a mess, right?
Right, well, that's the thing, is like, it's like a really awkward conversation to have too with a grown adult, which is why I'm glad OP's husband is handling it, because it really should be his responsibility since it's his family.
Yeah, I mean, maybe the subtle sign would have been like OP being like, oh, before you use the bathroom, I have to put this giant tarp down over every surface. So don't mind me. It's just that you're a slob and I have to put this giant tarp down. So go forth. So I don't know. I feel bad for OP, but I'm glad that this situation is going to hopefully resolve itself and that they won't have this issue in the future.
Yeah.
But what do the comments have to say?
So Kind of Comment says OP should have a welcome diaper for him next time he visits.
Yeah.
Or make the husband clean after the brother-in-law only.
That would actually be a really good solution. The husband having to clean up after the brother-in-law might make him realize how quickly that this is terrible.
Yeah, well, luckily it sounds like just reading the post from his when his colleague showed him helped him see the light.
Yeah.
And then Walter says, is there a problem with his own toilet? Just speculating that maybe he has a war zone back home.
Yeah.
And then Marsha says, that's gross that a grown man can't use the bathroom properly. If it were me, I would just tell him only if he cleans up the bathroom afterward. And then Mary says, OP could always lead brother-in-law to the bathroom, film the room's condition ahead of time, then allow brother-in-law to enter, warning any residual destruction will be preserved on film and posted online.
I like that.
And then Walter says, ha 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 ha, I love it. Also, lock the door afterward and show husband physical evidence. Well, not lock the door, but keep it closed until he gets home.
Speaking of keeping the door locked, our next letter is titled, Am I the Jerk for Keeping Old Family Videos? So me and my wife have been arguing about this, and now my daughter's upset too. I keep a lot of stuff stored on my home server. I like to keep videos of important family memories, but they also include times when people messed up. My wife says it's humiliating, and my daughter says it's creepy that I keep them. I don't think I'm wrong. For example, I have home security footage of my wife hitting my parked car in our driveway. I also have a dash cam footage of her rear-ending someone a few years ago and then hitting another car when she tried to switch lanes right afterwards. Plus, I have some old video from my college graduation where she was my girlfriend at the time and she's seen crying because she failed a class and couldn't graduate with me. She says that I'm keeping it just to be mean. She never got sued or anything for the car stuff, so I figured better safe than sorry, just in case someone tries something one day. Well, then there's my daughter. When she was first learning to drive, the dash cam caught her scraping a parked car and not even noticing. She also once drove right into our garage door because she mixed up the pedals. Again, I figured that this is something that we could keep in case we get blamed later on or the insurance issues. When she was a kid, I filmed a school dance thing and she wet herself on stage. It was only like 3 minutes of a 45-minute video, but she says it's gross that I still have it. My son doesn't mind. He even jokes about it. I have a couple of videos of him playing baseball where they get lost really bad, where they lose really bad, but he laughs it off and says maybe one day it'll be funny when he shows his kids. Well, my wife says I should delete at least the embarrassing parts and that I care more about storing data than people's feelings. My daughter won't talk to me anymore and she called me weird and said that she feels like she's always being watched. I keep trying to say that it's not like that, and it's not like I show these videos to anyone but us, and if someone decides to lie and claim they got hurt in one of these crashes, then we have video proof. I feel like they are blowing it way out of proportion. So am I the jerk for refusing to delete my own family videos, even if some of them are embarrassing, stuff that maybe people don't want to remember? All right, folks, what do you think?
Yes, OP, you are a major jerk here. These are all on digital now. OP says in the comments, like even the ones that were VHS are now digital. You can easily cut out the embarrassing parts. No one's going to sue you if you remove a video of your wife crying because she doesn't get to graduate. No one's going to sue you if you cut out the part where your daughter wets herself on stage.
Yeah.
No one's going to sue you because your daughter crashed into your garage door. Like most of these examples, even the ones where they're always like, well, we could save this for the future. Probably no one is going to after all these years come after them.
Yeah.
But even if you wanted to, for whatever ridiculous reasons, and hold on to those ones, most of this you do not need.
Well, I think the statute of limitations on most of that stuff is like well since expired. And I would ask, how many embarrassing videos are of him around, right?
Right, and on the Suns, he's like, oh, well, they were losing at sports.
Yeah.
Like, that's not the same thing as not getting to graduate or peeing yourself.
Yeah. I think that you should delete videos that people don't want you to have of them. If the wife was fine with these videos kicking around, then it would be one thing, right? And if it was like within a year or two of like the crash or something like that, I would say, yeah, maybe it would be a good idea to hold on to those for a little while just to make sure, that you can have like legal recourse or something like that, right? But it also sounds like it makes them look at fault.
Yeah.
So I don't know what good it does anyways. It's like, well, clearly she's at fault here. She crashed into a car or scraped into a car, right? And I mean, it's like, at that point in time, it just feels like OP's just holding this over their heads to make them remember the mistakes that they've made.
Well, that is what it feels like. It does feel very creepy and invasive. And why, like, we have all kinds of home videos that my mom took of us kids when we were little. I can't point out to you very many specific instances because we didn't just watch them over and over again. How many times has he pulled up the video of his daughter wetting himself or of his wife crying because she can't graduate?
That's a good question. A very good question indeed. But what did the comments have to say?
So Mulder says, this is gradually sounding less like funny memories and more like bullying and or blackmail.
Yeah.
Mary said, I was on the fence until the daughter wetting herself incident. Not cool. Is it worth it, OP? Kat Nicoma says, this sounds like preparation for blackmail. I mean, the wedding part went from creepy to sort of super creepy and somehow pervy. Mary says, you're the jerk. OP will find access to the family denied if this keeps up. And Kat Nicoma says, Malter, yes, bullying, that's the word I was looking for. And Mary says, and 2 or more can play this game, OP. In your senior years, younger family members are going to be hauling out their phones. And then Marcia says, seems mean of him.
Speaking of seeming mean, our next letter is titled, Am I a jerk for buying a dog without asking my boyfriend first? Maybe not so mean, but we'll find out. You be the judge. So I'm a 20-year-old female, and I've been living with my boyfriend Liam, a 23-year-old male, for about 8 months now. We kind of talked about getting a pet someday, but it was always super vague, like, yeah, maybe in the future when we're more settled. I grew up with animals my whole life, and honestly, I've been missing having a dog around. He's never had a pet, so he's a bit more cautious, I guess. Well, anyways, last week, our local shelter posted about a bunch of dogs that they took in from some hoarding situation. I don't know what came over me, but one of the dogs, this small mixed little fluff ball, just broke my heart. I went there just to check it out, which obviously was a lie. I told myself because the second I saw her, I was done for. I tried calling Liam before making a decision, but he was at work and didn't pick up. The shelter lady was telling me that the dogs were getting adopted super fast and that they didn't have enough space, and I panicked and said yes, and I know it was impulsive, trust me, I know. So I brought her home. Liam came back from work and just stopped in the doorway. Like, he wasn't even mad at first, more like when the world is happening. But after a bit, I guess he did get upset. He said I made a huge long-term decision without even talking to him about it. And since we share rent and bills and everything, it wasn't fair just to dump a whole dog into the mix. I tried to explain that it felt like an emergency, and I really didn't want to risk missing out on adopting her because she honestly looked so scared of the shelter. I also thought that he would fall in love with her once he met her, which, okay, he actually did. He cuddles her all the time, and he's already picked a name for her. But he keeps just saying that it's on the principle of what bothers him, and that I didn't respect him enough to wait. Things have honestly been kind of tense for the last few days because he says he feels cornered, like I forced him into being a dog parent. But I feel bad, of course. I didn't regret bringing her. I feel bad, of course, but also I don't regret bringing her home. I don't know. I'm wondering if I really messed up here or it was just a weird situation. Am I the jerk for adopting a dog without asking him first? All right, folks, what do you think?
Yes, OP, you're a jerk. When you're living with someone, the pets are a 2 yes, 1 no kind of situation. You know, I mean, this wasn't even an existing pet that you brought into the relationship, which you would still want to talk about beforehand before you combine houses.
Yeah.
This is a completely separate pet, but also oh, well, the dogs were going really fast, so I just had to, like, it sounds like the dogs were getting homes. It's not like you had to adopt this dog or else they would all die.
Well, that's kind of like my feeling here is that it seems like the emergency was that OP wasn't going to get the dog that they wanted.
Yeah.
And not so much that the dogs weren't going to go to loving families who wanted them, right? So I think that's the biggest issue I have here. If they had talked about getting a dog and they were like, yeah, we'll pick up a dog soon or something like that, or he was like, yeah, let's go dog shop over the weekend or something like that, I might feel a little bit different because he actually had like a commitment of getting a dog, and then OP's like, I just fell in love and I couldn't help myself. A little less because then they would have at least had decided it, but I still think that he should have been involved with picking out the dog, and OP should have done the responsible thing and said, I really want this dog, can we go to the shelter and see if the pet dog is still there and adopt it if you're up with that, or go to the shelter with me and see if you like the dog. So maybe there would have been a way of doing that, right? But what do the comments have to say?
So Mary says, it is risky to bring a pet into any situation where all residents aren't on board. Not an existing pet, certainly not a new addition. Kat Nakoma says, I heard once that dogs are not pets, they are a lifestyle. This is a very big change in the house and life.
Yeah.
Dog trapping, LOL.
Yeah.
Marsha says, he's accepted the dog, so why keep bringing it up? Kat Nakoma says, because she didn't think of the boyfriend at all. Malta says, definitely 2 yes, 1 no when you live together. Dog would have gone to a loving home either way, it sounds like, and there would be others.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, it might just be one of these situations where in the future he just won't mind as much. But right now, his feelings are, of course, going to be a little hurt because she didn't take his feelings into consideration. Speaking of not taking people's feelings into consideration, our next letter is titled, So am I the jerk for telling him I would leave him if he tries to get 50-50 custody? So I'm a 28-year-old female, and I'm child-free, and I have no intentions of having kids, like ever. I run my own small online business, and I make good money with flexible hours. My husband, a 34-year-old male, and I have been married for a year, and I just found out that he has a 9-year-old daughter from a previous relationship. P.S. He never mentioned her until 4 days ago. He told me that he's been paying child support, but now wants to ask for 50-50 custody. He works long hours and said he would need me to help with her whenever I'm home. I was angry, and I told him I had no idea that she even existed, and I definitely didn't sign up to be a parent to someone else's child. I flat out told him that if he goes through with filing for custody, I'll divorce him. We have a prenup, so splitting up would be simple. I keep my business, my savings, and my house, which I inherited. He called me selfish and said I should help him out so that he can save money and have fun, claiming the kid isn't a big deal because she's old enough to be easy. All right, folks, what do you think of this one? 2 yes, 1 no situation.
Yeah, that's definitely a 2 yes, 1 no situation. OP divorced this man. He concealed this very important detail of his life from you so he could bring you on board. Notice that he's not willing to go for 50-50 custody if it's him who has to raise the kid, but as soon as he's got a wife, got her all settled in, oh, well, it would save me so much money. He doesn't care about your time and energy. He doesn't care that you said you don't want kids, you don't want to raise kids.
Yeah.
Oh, well, but it will save me money.
Well, here's my feeling on the situation. I think that he probably knew OP was child-free and didn't care at all.
Yeah, well, that's basically what OP says in the beginning, is that she's been clear that she's child-free.
Yeah, and so basically he was like, once we're married, she'll have no choice but to comply with being a mother because I'm just going to make her be the mother, right? And I think you bring up a really valuable point here, is that he was fine with going for 50-50 when it's going to be OP's time and OP's effort with raising the child and not his. He just wants to have fun with the daughter. He doesn't want to raise her. And he also wants to save money too, it sounds like.
Right. And so it just sounds like I would seriously reevaluate the whole relationship based on this. I think it's showing how little he cares for OP right now and how little he cares for the daughter. I mean, I think it's just a matter of, like, I can't be bothered with her. I pay money because I have to. But if I can get out of paying the money, then I'll do that.
Well, also, what else is he hiding? Right? If he was able to hide a whole child for their whole dating time, right? What else is he hiding here? And that is, I can't, there's probably more things, right? What happens if he has more kids? This is just the first of many children that will pop out of the woodworks.
Yeah, well, it does raise like some serious trust issues for the relationship. Yeah. And like at this point in time, the trust is broken. The relationship is broken. He is not the man you thought you married.
Yeah. But what do the comments have to say?
Walter says, oof, yeah, no, not the jerk. These are false pretenses.
Yeah.
Kanekoma says, you can't just drop a 9-year-old human person on someone, let alone someone who was prepared to never be in such a situation.
Yeah.
Tuesday says, how is 50-50 custody going to work if you're not so secretive about the kid that your wife just found out? If you're so secretive about the kid that your wife just found out. He doesn't visit the kid, and he has a child-free wife and expected them to get along. What is the goal? Walter says he got married to her knowing she was child-free and didn't tell her he had a kid. Goal is to not pay child support and dump responsibilities on his wife, it sounds like.
Yeah.
And then Mary says, not the jerk. I would absolutely pull out of the marriage. If he doesn't pull the custody, he will definitely be pulling the visitation card. I'd also ask Cosby to put the legal costs on this one.
Yeah. Speaking of splitting the cost, I don't know. Maybe that doesn't work at all here. Our next letter is titled, Am I a jerk for telling my sister that her tattoo theme doesn't matter and that she's being childish by putting that over family? So I'm a 19-year-old female and I have an older sister, Vicky, a 24-year-old female, who has a lot of tattoos. She is very purposeful about her tattoos and has all of them in the same theme. All of them are nature, plants, and animals, and I think that she calls it engraving style or something like that. But basically, they're all in the same style and all are nature things. So me and her are really close, and now that I'm old enough and I've saved up enough, I want to get a matching tattoo with her. She's down for the idea. I spent several days finding and matching sisters' tattoos on Instagram and TikTok and wherever. And on Saturday, I sat down with her to go through and pick which one she wanted to do. She looked through all of them and then said that she wasn't going to do any of them because they don't match her style. I got upset and asked her, why can't she just do one tattoo that doesn't match her style? And she said that even one tattoo would throw off her entire theme, which upset me. I asked her if she was really putting a theme over family loyalty, and she said that I was being stupid and that because I said that, she wasn't going to continue with this conversation anymore. I tried to complain to my mom, but she doesn't care about tattoos that much, and our dad doesn't like them at all, so neither of them will help. So am I the jerk? All right. What do you think of this one?
Yeah, OP, I mean, I understand the desire to have matching tattoos, but if you know your sister has a style for the tattoos she liked, why don't you look for tattoos that fit her theme?
Well, I mean, I think they did. I think they said that they scoured TikTok and Instagram and tried finding tattoos that matched her theme.
No, they just finding matching sister tattoos.
Oh, was that what that is?
Yes.
Oh, all right.
Um, so if you really want to do matching tattoos with your sister, maybe instead ask her to bring designs to you
Yeah.
if she's more picky about the design and theme. But it's her body, it's going to be permanent ink on her, and so it has to be something that she agrees to. It has to be something you both agree to if you want to do matching tattoos.
Yeah, I mean, I misread this whole thing in the respect that when it says matching sister tattoos, I thought they meant matching her sister's tattoos, right? So, yeah, I think that actually changes my view on this a little bit here, right? I think that they need to just sit down and maybe even take some of those matching sister tattoos that OP found and see if there's a way to turn them into a theme that works for the sister, right? And if there isn't anything that works there, then maybe OP can be like, well, what would we need to change in this tattoo to make it something that you would want to have, right? I think again, like this is one of those situations where OP really needs to work with the sister because she wants to have a certain theme. OP's aware of that theme, and they just were kind of disregarding it. And
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that shows that OP's a very good sister in this case. And then said that, accused her of putting family loyalty over this, which, doesn't help the situation,
No,
right?
it doesn't. And again, OP is also like choosing a specific theme over its sister if she's not like if
Yeah.
she is insisting on one of these specific tattoos.
Well,
Like,
that's it. She is. I mean, she doesn't realize she is, but she's doing the thing that she's accusing the sister of, right?
and different people want different things. Like this is something that's very permanent and it's part of your body, and like it's understandable people are going to have different tastes and different styles,
Mm-hmm.
and you may not be able to find something that you both like. Like your tastes may just be too different.
Yeah. But what do the comments have to say?
Uh,
Or these comments?
Mulder says, "You're the jerk. It's her body." Nakoma says, "As a person with theme tattoos, I agree with the sister. Also, I'm not sure OP truly understands what the sister is going to wear. Understands that the sister is going to wear that on her skin forever." And then Mary says, "If matching sis is so important, OP should be willing to match sis."
Yeah, yeah.
And then Tuesday says, "You're the jerk. Why can't they pick the tattoo together or have the sister pick some ideas that match her style? Why does it have to be OP's idea?"
Yeah.
And then Marcia says, "The younger sister is not mature enough to get a tattoo by running to her parents to whine and get them to push the sister."
I mean, I think
That's a very
fair.
good point.
I think that's a very, very good point. Speaking of good points, our next letter is titled, "Am I a jerk? I'm a 23-year-old female, wrong for wanting my boyfriend, a 26-year-old male, to remove an old couple of photos." So, hi, I'm a 23-year-old female, and I've been dating my boyfriend, a 26-year-old male, for a year now. Now that we're closer, I started feeling uncomfortable knowing that my boyfriend's ex has over 30 photos of them together still on her Instagram. These are clearly couple photos, not group shots or old memories with friends. I asked my boyfriend if he could text her and ask her to remove them, but he said, "I'm not going to ask her, it's her account, and I can't control what she decides to keep." I tried to ask how he would feel if I had pictures of my ex up still, but he insists it's different and keeps repeating that he doesn't check her account and doesn't care about it at all. So am I wrong for wanting his ex to remove the pictures or not? Is it reasonable to feel uncomfortable? In my opinion, it's not normal to keep pictures of your ex. All right, folks, what do you think?
Yes, OP, you're the jerk, and it is very normal and common for people to keep pictures of their exes, especially if they were together a long time. Not every relationship end is a complete, like, I need to go scorched earth and wipe this person from my life. But also, you're not in a relationship with her. Like, I think it would be
Yeah.
wrong to even ask the boyfriend to get rid of these, like, having any trace of his ex in photos. Like, people have histories and pasts, and you're allowed to keep some mementos from that. But this is his ex, someone it sounds like is not in contact with anymore. He has no control over whether she has these photos on Instagram or not.
Yeah, I mean, that's my biggest issue here, is that these are the ex, literally the ex, and it's her account, and she can do whatever she wants with her account. If OP is this worried about it, maybe OP can reach out to her and be like, "Why are you have pictures of my boyfriend up still?" Right? Like, if she really wants to, but I mean, like, that's still not her place. She
Mm-hmm.
shouldn't be telling people to take pictures down that, like, it's just not appropriate. It's such a strange request.
Yeah. Now, I do want to point out that the whole, like, the boyfriend, this might be everyone's wrong here a little bit because the boyfriend's whole, it's different, doesn't sit well with me either.
Well, no, I think it is different.
I mean,
right?
I think it is different, but I also think it's problematic.
Because, like, if she had pictures on her own account of some pictures with her ex, I think it would be different to some degree. But, like, also, I do agree with you. Like, it's because those would be well within her control.
They would be within her
point in time,
control to
right?
delete, but I think it would still be an overreach
Yeah,
to ask. Like,
it would be. I think it would be an overreach.
like again, like I can understand if they're like intimate photos or something like that, like
Yeah.
that gets murky, but if they're just regular couple-y photos, like that was part of their life, part of their memories.
Yeah. But what do the comments have to say? What do our folks have to say?
Malter says, my one reservation is what does it's different mean? Mary says, you're the jerk. If this is so important to OP, then OP should flag it as a game changer and pull out. It's still early in the game. And Kanekoma says, I agree with the boyfriend. He shouldn't try to control his ex's account.
Yeah.
That would be really weird. Weirder than the photos being on the ex's account.
Speaking of weird, our next letter is titled, Am I a Jerk? My partner got me tickets to a toddler show and for my birthday for me to take our kids. And I just saw Marsha's comment pop up, but like we'll read that one real quick.
Yeah, so Marsha says, girlfriend needs to grow up and move on.
I agree on that. Speaking of growing up and moving on, maybe that works better. I don't know. Hi all, nothing major. Just don't know if I'm overreacting or not. Basically, I always put heaps of effort into presents, planning birthdays, Christmas, etc. for my loved ones. I never received the same back, which is fine. I get it. Different love languages. And we have little kids, etc. The last few years, though, the presents have been very low effort. For example, last year, I got a coffee cup. This year, though, I didn't even get a card and was told verbally that my birthday was gifts, that for my birthday, I was bought tickets for myself and our toddlers to go to a kids' concert. No, my partner also did not buy tickets for himself. I did get a cake, but for some reason, cannot shake the disappointment that I'm feeling about my birthday this year. Am I being silly? I worry when I bring this up that it'll be much bigger, and then it should really be. All right, folks, what do you think?
No, OP, I don't think you're in the wrong. I mean, how is this a gift for OP? This is husband stays home by himself while OP takes the kids to a children's concert.
Yeah, I know.
Like, again, even if it was like all of them going together, like that would be a little different, but also is it really like a treat for OP if it's centered around the kids, like a kids concert?
I mean, she's the mom. Of course she wants to spend every waking moment with the children, right? Right?
Like, this is just, none of this is about OP. And the fact that he didn't get himself a ticket, I mean, he gets a nice night to himself while OP takes the kids to a kids concert.
Well, that's exactly what it boils down to. Is he's like, you know what I could do? This is like the most cartoonish, like, villain plot ever. Like, I could have an evening to myself while my wife has to take care of the children. And then just like buys her tickets and is like, bye honey, enjoy the time with the kids. I just don't want to go because I know how much you value spending time with our toddlers.
Like, he couldn't even get her like a spa day because that would mean he'd have to watch the kids or arrange childcare. No, he's got to get her.
You know what I think OP should do? I think OP should be like, this is such a sweet gift. And you know what? I would hate to rob you of the experience of spending this show with our children. So I'm going to give you my ticket and let you take the kids.
Or like for Christmas, get him a gift with the kids to see something. This was such a great idea. So here you go.
Yeah.
You can take the kids.
You know, it's a terrible birthday gift, but I think that OP should turn this around as much as possible and make the best of it. But what did everyone else had to say?
Kanekoma says, not commenting on this one. I don't think you could read that on YouTube. Alter says, that's a present for the kids, not OP. Tuesday says, happy birthday, honey. Your gift is a day off for me, from you and the kids. Mary says, announce to the partner that you will be buying boyfriend a gift that he should have bought for OP as his birthday gift this year.
Yeah.
And then Walter says, also, my cat says hi, sitting on my chest.
Hi, Malter's cat.
Yes, hi, cat. And then Marcia says, not a good birthday gift for mom. She should go buy herself her own gift and give husband her ticket and make him go with the kids.
I agree. I agree fully on that last one. Speaking of giving the present to somebody else, I don't know. That really doesn't work at all for this segue. Our next letter is titled, Am I a jerk for changing the Wi-Fi password after my sibling kicked me off the Netflix? So my sibling, a 22-year-old, and I, an 18-year-old, both live at home. They pay for Netflix, and I handle the Wi-Fi setup and maintenance. The parents pay the bills. We've always just shared everything without tracking it. A few days ago, I tried to watch Netflix and found out that they had changed the password and locked me out without any warning. When I asked about it, they said that I could be added back if I start paying. So I got annoyed, and I changed the Wi-Fi password, and I didn't give it to them. Now they're mad, and my parents are mad, and I'm being told I'm childish for controlling the whole house's internet just to be petty. I feel like I just matched their energy. They locked me out first, so am I the jerk? All right, folks, what do you think?
Yes, OP, you're the jerk. The difference is your sibling pays for Netflix. They have the right to kick you out. You don't pay for Wi-Fi. Your whole, oh, I do Wi-Fi maintenance. What does that entail exactly? Like, occasionally resetting the router? I'm sure your parents could do it too. So if you don't want to be the Wi-Fi maintenance person anymore, that's fine. You can resign from your post. But like, you don't get to control the Wi-Fi because your sibling kicked you off the Netflix they pay for.
I mean, I handle the Wi-Fi setup and maintenance. What does that involve? Restarting the router every once in a while when it gets like locked out? Well, I mean, I don't think that's a very intensive thing. It's different from paying the bills, right? Like if the Netflix costs, I don't know how much Netflix costs. I'm gonna say like $30 a month. I don't know. That's just a ballpark guess. Then OP should pay $15 of it. They aren't paying for the internet here. This is kind of absurd that they are trying to say, well, I handle the Wi-Fi capabilities. I don't know. I don't even know.
What they're saying is I have the ability to hold my family hostage.
Yeah. I mean, this feels like a mafia maneuver, right?
Yeah.
Like, there's your insurance. You got to pay me insurance money to make sure that you don't accidentally break your legs in the middle of the night or accidentally end up with cement shoes and at the bottom of a ravine. Sometimes these things just happen. You fall in, you accidentally step into cement, and then you accidentally walk off the side of a bridge. But, same thing with the Wi-Fi. Sometimes we need to be paid in Netflix insurance in order to make sure your Wi-Fi stays on.
But Opie might not be thinking about this too smartly because the parents could always get a different router and not let OP on.
Yeah, exactly. But what do the comments have to say here?
So Kanekoma says, "Don't bite the hand that gives you Wi-Fi," but obviously the jerk.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Our next letter is titled, Am I a jerk for being upset that my roommate opened most of my birthday presents before I got home? Maybe this one should have been in the last order so that I could have segued onto the birthday gift.
It would have been a great segue.
Yeah. I'm a 24-year-old female, and I just had my birthday last week, and my roommate, Celine, a 26-year-old female, threw a little get-together for me at our apartment. We invited some of our mutual friends, decorated the place, and baked a cake earlier. I was working late that day, so she got home about 1 hour after the party started. When I got back, everyone was still there having drinks and hanging out, which was great, except I quickly realized that most of my presents had already been opened. Not just unwrapped, but fully opened and sitting out on the table. My roommate said that everyone wanted to see what people had gotten me, so she helped by opening them on my behalf. I honestly felt really weird about it. Opening gifts is one of the few fun personal parts of a birthday party, Well, I didn't make a scene, but I was definitely disappointed. Later that night, I told her privately that I appreciated her efforts with helping me through the preparations for the party, but I would have liked to open my own gifts. She got defensive and said that I was being ungrateful since she helped with the preparations to celebrate me. Now she's been giving me the cold shoulder, and I told a few friends that I ruined the vibe of being petty. And I really don't think that I overreacted. I didn't yell or cause drama. I just told her how I felt. So Reddit, am I the jerk for being upset that my roommate opened my birthday presents before I even got there? All right, folks, what do you think?
Not the jerk, and this whole thing is weird. Like, how is this a birthday party for you that you're not even there for the first hour? Like, why couldn't they have pushed this back an hour so you'd be home for the outset?
Yeah.
And then, like, yeah, even small children generally know you don't open other people's presents. They're like, how do you know she didn't like steal any? Like, look at your gifts so she could figure out what to take or something like that.
Well, also, I don't think that anybody was sitting around being like, "Whoa, let's open up the OP's presents" or anything like that,
The
right?
thing that baffles me, and this is why I'm wondering if like maybe people just like to help themselves or something, is like,
Yeah.
why didn't anyone step in and be like, hey, hey, those are OP's presents. What are you doing? Like this whole situation just makes me feel really uncomfortable because one, a bunch of people show up to OP's party that OP's not even there for
Mm-hmm.
and open all her gifts and no one stops and is like, hey, this is weird.
Yeah, I don't know. It just feels like such a strange situation. I wonder how many of these people are actually OP's friends and how many actually care about OP and they're more like, "Yeah, we're just here for the party." I don't know.
Yeah. And so let's see. Yeah, the comments. So Walter says, and they couldn't wait for the birthday girl, not the jerk. Mary says, what? Honestly, I would make new roomie arrangements. This does not bode well going forward. Marcia says, oh, that's so wrong of roommate, and I wouldn't trust her again. Kat Nagoa says, that's just not how humans do birthdays.
Yeah, yeah.
Tuesday says, I have a theory she stole one because why did she open some? Walter says, I could understand them hanging out beforehand, but it's not a birthday party until the birthday girl shows up, especially for presents.
Yeah.
And then Mary says, tell the roommate you opened their mail. You couldn't wait to see what their Nordstrom's bill was for.
Yeah. I don't know. No. I don't even know. All right, folks. Our next letter is titled I'm a 39-year-old male, and my fiance, 25-year-old female, is having a breakdown over getting a new car. Claims the car is her friend, and I don't know if I should ignore this. I have genuinely never seen anyone act like this before, and I don't want to tell anyone in person, so I thought that I would make a post here just to see. I don't exactly want to hurt her feelings either, but in my mind, this is not normal at all. I don't use Reddit, so I apologize if this is the wrong place. I've been with my girl for 2 years, and she has this old beat-up Chevy Spark that I have told her for a while was clearly starting to slow down. I'm pretty good with cars, and I put a lot of work into keeping it going. I've also paid $6,000 this year to fix it, but I'm getting really nervous about her driving it. She's an actress who drives 3+ hours for shoots sometimes, and I've asked her quite a few times to let me grab her something new, and she's always weird about it. Lately, it's been worse, and she also got stuck in the snow and beat up the underneath of the car. I took her to a Lexus dealer to pick out something new. Her Chevy is pink, so I promised that we could get it wrapped. Well, most 25-year-old women would be overjoyed, but this one started crying. Her Chevy Spark is her friend, and she can't do it, she says. She also says that she loves her car and that they've been through a lot together. So I told her she picks out a new car so she could keep the Chevy in our garage forever if she wants to. She agreed, tears in her eyes, in a public dealership. I heard her apologize to the car, and I've seen her hug the steering wheel. I really don't know exactly what to do. I could ignore it, I guess, but it seems like something I should talk to her about. I don't want her to be embarrassed, but also I can't imagine most adults being so distraught. There's this thing that's bugging me too, is that once she was homeless and she lived in the Spark. I've always noticed that she's emotional, but this seemed like the tip of the iceberg, bigger issue type of thing. Do I leave it alone or not? All right, folks, what do you think?
Leave it alone. I mean, first of all, I think in the very end there, that when she was homeless, she lived in the car is a very key piece of why this means so much to her. Like, this is like not only just a car, this has been,
Her
home.
Yeah.
It's been an very important piece of her life for a while, it sounds like. Now, lots of people get sentimentally attached to things, I am sentimentally attached to our car, and it's very distraught about the idea of getting rid of, even if it's, a money suck type of deal. Some people are just more sentimental than others, and that doesn't mean there's anything inherently wrong. And so, but I don't know, I think especially with the added history here, like just let her keep it in the garage. Don't bring it up. Like I understand if it's a safety risk, yeah, she probably shouldn't be driving it. It's a good idea to have a more reliable car for her,
Mm-hmm.
but don't make her get rid of it. Don't, bring it up or make her feel bad for having this sentimental attachment. Maybe in time, it won't matter so much to her anymore. When she's driving the new car, she'll form a new attachment. Maybe it will still matter to her and it will just sit in your garage.
Yeah, I mean the biggest thing here is that was her home. This is something that kept her, safe and secure. It's a place that she could consider her safe place, her secure place. And I'm not surprised that she would be attached to it and have a deep emotional attachment to it because it's the thing that kept her safe during a time that she was most vulnerable. And I think that that's certainly something that OP isn't really considering here, right? And if she is someone who's, very sentimental and gets attached to things, she's probably going to have an even deeper attachment to this car, right? And the fact that she's apologizing to the car, like she feels like she's given up on the car or she's being forced to give up on the car and not keep it running. Like she wants the car to continue running and she wants it to be her vehicle, right? As long as possible. And I don't know, like if he can afford a brand new Lexus for her, what would it cost to just get the car, rebuilt to the point where it's not going to break down all the time,
I
right?
mean, that's a good question.
Like you could put $10,000 into that car because that car only costs, 20 at most,
Yeah.
right? And and make it a brand new car, right? So I don't know. I feel like he is overly analyzing this and could just save the car.
Mm-hmm.
I know he says he put 6 grand into it this year, and that's hard too, right? But I don't know. I mean, I just don't think that's unreasonable for her to be attached to this car, right?
Mm-hmm. And then Mary says, Opie, this is who she is, accept it or don't, but you cannot force a change of mind or on the person you love.
Mm-hmm.
Kinda Coleman says, what kind of Christine mess is this? But seriously, people have sentimental attachments and that's life.
Yeah.
And then Walter says, bro, you date a woman 14 years younger than you and you're surprised she's attached to what probably is her first car? LMAO. Oh wow, even more, the car she literally lived in. Marcia says, that's an interesting dilemma. Let her keep driving it as it's her happy place.
Mm-hmm.
And then Walter says, car of Thesis would have to be up to her, though.
Yeah, the car of Theseus. Much like the ship of Theseus. We replaced every single part in it. Will it be the same car? That's the dilemma, right? All right, folks, and our next letter, we're going to read this one, and then we are going to take a tea time, and then we're going to read our last one. How's that sound? Our next letter is titled, Today I Messed Up by Trying to Impress My Girlfriend's Cat. So my girlfriend Leah has this cat named Potato. He's this huge orange tabby, like 18 pounds, super chill. I've been dating Leah for about 5 months, and Potato tolerates me but doesn't really like me. He'll sit on her lap, but if I try to pet him, he just leaves. Sunday, I'm at her apartment in Portland, and she's in the shower. Potato is sitting on the back of the couch, doing that slow blink thing that cats do. I read somewhere that if you slow blink at cats, it's like saying I love you in cat language, so they'll trust you. So I'm sitting there slow blinking at this cat, really committing to it, holding eye contact, slow dramatic blinks, the whole thing. Leah comes out of the bathroom in a towel and sees me intensely staring at her cat, blinking in slow motion, just dead silent, blinking. She goes, "What are you doing?" And I panic and I say, "We're communicating." She laughs so hard that she has to sit down. Asks how long I've been doing this. I don't know, maybe like 5 minutes. Felt longer, honestly. Potato jumped off the couch and left the room. Didn't work at all. But wait, it gets worse. Later that night, we're at dinner with her friends, and I don't know these people very well, and I've maybe met them twice. Leah tells them the story. They think that it's hilarious. One of her friends, Maya, goes, "Honestly, that's really sweet though. My boyfriend won't even try with my dog." I'm feeling defensive at this point, so I say, "I've been doing a lot of research actually. Like, did you know that cats have a third eyelid?" Leah looks at me and says, "Have you been Googling cat facts to bond with Potato?" I have absolutely been Googling cat facts to bond with Potato. Her friends are dying. One guy almost spills out his drink. Maya goes, "Please tell us more." And she's not even being mean, she's just genuinely delighted. So now, Leah's entire friend group knows that I've been studying cat behavior like I'm preparing for an exam. She updated her group chat, and apparently now I'm Cat Fact's boyfriend. This morning, Leah texted me an article about cat psychology with the message, for your research. Potato still doesn't like me. All right, folks, what do you think?
Yeah, that's I love that story. Hopefully, Potato eventually comes around. But it's it's really nice that you want to bond with Potato.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I think that's it. I think that Potato and OP, hopefully they can get along someday, and Potato accepts OP as one of their own.
I mean, it took me years. So Brian's mom has a cat, Calliope, and it took who just doesn't like people. Not like mean or anything, but just she does her own thing, doesn't really, give people the time of day. And it took years to win her over, but eventually I did.
Yeah. And so I think that hopefully OP can win Potato over. But speaking of winning people over, I'll let people comment as we go along. It's tea time. Grab your beverages of choice. I have a tea right here. Amber has a joke, and we get to decide about what kind of pie everyone likes.
I wanted to improve my website, so I bought glasses for my computer.
Yeah, I bought glasses for my computer too, but it still didn't work. And let's see, the kinds of pies that people like. Apple pie won at 38%, pumpkin at 24%, other at 25%, and pecan at 13%. Total votes 8.
What doesn't make sense about it, so I know they're rounding, but why did they give pumpkin 24 and other 25 when they should have both had 2 votes?
I don't know. That's a good question. I think that it was just a matter of they wanted to
They wanted to add up to 100,
yeah.
and so only one of them could get the point.
Yeah.
So someone's vote counted a little bit more.
Yeah, one of your votes counted more. And what is everyone drinking? Oh, you're guessing licorice spice, and you have mango peach tea. That's sounds like a delicious one. I'll let folks guess on the tea, and then I'll reveal all in a second here. And I'll just reveal it now, and then we'll go on to the next story. I actually have the special guest tea here today. I have that apple cinnamon tea again. I was like, you know what? It's festive. We're like the day after Thanksgiving, now going into Christmas, so it makes sense. Apple cinnamon.
And it goes perfectly with our pies, you know? You could have an apple cinnamon tea with an apple pie, or any of these other pies, really.
And Kanakoma has sparkling water with lemon, which is good. Hot chocolate from Malter. And no, not rats, Mary. I don't have rats. I have the apple cinnamon tea.
If Brian had rats, he would probably be screaming.
I might be. Amber might be screaming. Oops, that's not the right screen. Where am I? Here we are. PDF Reddit. There we go. All right, folks. And our final letter is titled, I bought my then girlfriend a bath and body scent, and I realized later why I liked it. I'll be setting the scene by letting you know that my girlfriend, a 22-year-old female, and me, my boyfriend, a 23-year-old male, had been together for about a year at the time. I'm a disaster relief worker, and she's a dental assistant. I often leave my own hometown with very little notice and spend several months in some other far-off part of the U.S. Well, this deployment was extra tough. Hurricane Michael tore up Florida. I was averaging 16 hours a day, 6 days a week. The thing is that the things that I saw there still weigh on me. Well, after 4 months, I was told that I could go home soon. To celebrate, I went to pick out perfume/body spray for my girlfriend. I spent hours at the mall. Nothing really stuck out to me until I went to the Bath and Body Works. One scent just made my brain feel so warm and happy. I excitedly bought it, and then I went back to finish up my day's work. Well, when I got back home, I gave it to my girlfriend as a late Christmas present, and she loved it. Well, we went to a small get-together with my friends a few days later. My good buddy walks up to us, cracks some raunchy joke as he does, but then looks confused, pauses for a moment, and says, "Is that insert scent name?" And my girlfriend says it is. Then he gets excited and says, "I love that scent too. I have the body wash and lotion version. I use it all the time, and I have for years." Then it hits me that warm, happy feeling was me subconsciously associating that scent with my buddies back home. Then I see them And it makes me want to, then when I see them, that also makes that connection in real time. It was so embarrassing, and they start telling everyone else that at the get together, and I'm playing it off like a coincidence, but obviously I'm red in the face. Well, fast forward to 2025, and now she's my wife, still has that body spray. It's still basically full and unused it's still basically full and unused since. She still brings it up and makes fun of me, and my buddy still does too. And he still wears that scent. I know because he's one of the groomsmen at my wedding last year. Moral of the story is, don't buy gifts for your girl when you're really missing home. My brain may make a connection without you realizing it. All right, folks.
Well, it sounds like that worked out well
Yeah.
for everyone,
Yeah.
it doesn't seem like there's, it's just a nice wholesome one. No malice here. Opie accidentally gifted his girlfriend the scent that reminds him of his buddy.
Yeah, well, it's nice, because like it's always be good to be able to associate things like that. And I think that it was just one of these things where OP was like, "Oh, this is a really nice scent." And it's nice that OP had like that comfort and whatnot, right? So, yeah, very nice. Very nice. So, oh yeah, wholesome. I totally thought it was you bought that scent that smells like your ex type of thing. That would have been considerably less wholesome.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm glad it didn't go that route. So, and Cat Nakoma says, I'm kind of impressed with people being able to stick with one scent for years. I can't even stick to a hair color. I mean, I get that. I get that. I like to stick with what works. But
Yeah.
I think like sometimes a change is nice too, right?
Yeah, well, I just tend to be a creature of routine, so I pick something and I just stick with it unless I get tired of it.
Yeah. Which is also, I think, like a valid way. But yeah, that's all the time we have for today. Thanks so much for everyone joining us today.
Yes, hopefully you've been having a good time.
Yeah, hopefully you enjoyed the stories, and hopefully you had a good December and a good
Had a good November.
November, rather. I'm getting ahead of us here. A good November and a good October. Because
Yes.
we skipped October's live stream because we had it on the day of Halloween, and we're like, people are probably going to be out trick-or-treating, or they have kids and they're going to be trick-or-treating, or grandkids and they'll be trick-or-treating.
Yeah,
or
well,
maybe that's all wrong assumptions.
well, it was also a busy month for us because I had a
Yeah.
bunch of book things. Because if you write a horror book, November's your month.
Yeah.
Although I also have December book commitments now, so I'll be at the Bangor Authors Fair if anyone's in Maine.
So yeah, if you are. So hopefully you all had a good time. Our next live stream we're thinking about doing on the December 26th. And we probably won't do a New Year's one unless people like.
Yeah, that would be in place of a New
Yeah,
Year's
it would
one.
probably be in place of a New Year's one unless people really demand that they want to do a New Year's one, because I mean I have that the 31st off, so it probably wouldn't even be a big deal to do a third one on the 31st. So
Yeah.
let us know what you want to do, and
Yeah, we'll do one or the other, but not both.
yeah, one or the other, not both, because well, I mean I guess we have so many stories every single month that we never get through like even like a good fraction of them.
Yeah, it's really just so many good stories out there, and so it takes a long time to try and winnow out the best ones.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's like we try to cover like the really good ones throughout the month, and like there's always good ones that we can't cover just because of the amount of time. But yeah, so December 26th, unless someone says something. Thanks Tuesday, thanks Mary, thanks Malter, thanks Katankoma, thanks Marcia, thanks everyone for joining us today.
Yes, it was great to chat with you all.
Yeah, hopefully I didn't miss anybody in that. That's all the people that I see in the chat. Thanks to anybody else who's in the chat and not commenting, so we're happy to have you here. Thanks for joining us, and we hope you all have a very merry holidays and Christmas and all that stuff. So, yeah.
Yeah, we have to at some point get our tree up. That'll be fun.
Yeah, we'll have to get our tree up at some point.
Last year we didn't do it until like right before Christmas. I'm hoping to get it up sooner this year.
Yeah. Oh, thank you, Tuesday. We love you too. Stay safe out there. Yeah, we'll stay safe in our snowy lands here. We live
Yeah,
in Maine.
it
We did.
snowed a little bit today. I'm hoping though it just goes away.
Yeah, it will eventually stick. Good night, Mary. Thanks, Marcia. See you later.
Night, everyone. Bye.
See you later, Kat Nakoma. Merry Christmas and bye bye.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, all that kind of fun stuff. All right, well, we'll see you all later. Bye.
Bye.